What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Suicide Squad post-credit scene video breakdown and explaining just what comes next for the instant fan favourite character who appears in the post-credit scene. There will be spoilers for the end of the movie as well as the post-credit scene itself, so please do be warned. Now, towards the climax of the movie, we have the shocking moment where Rick Flag has had enough of being a government puppet and decided that he will take all the data on Starro and how the US conducted state-authorized human experimentation using the mini Starros to actually see how they work and control people, all actually done by the Thinker, who is not Clifford DeVoe or any other comic book name, but someone different. Which makes me wonder if we might see another Thinker, the actual comic book one, at some point, but I'm not holding my hopes up high for that. However, just like the Panama Papers, WikiLeaks, and Chelsea Manning's work together, as well as Edward Snowden's absolutely earth-shattering whistleblowing, it could risk distrust in the government, and something on this scale could lead to peace being shattered. Naturally, Amanda Waller was sneaky and chose each person for a specific reason or task. Bloodsport was, of course, chosen to be a leader, and Peacemaker was her contingency plan, making sure the data is never leaked, and she could trust Peacemaker as he is obsessed with peace, so much so he would sort out a beach full of dicks. Rick is killed in a shocking moment by Peacemaker, which really hit hard as I really liked the character. However, Bloodsport would later kill Peacemaker, or well, that's what we would be led to believe, as he had smaller bullets, which was foreshadowed earlier in the movie during the almost quite literal dick measuring at the Freedom Fighter camp. Now, you'd think that Peacemaker was dead being shot like that, and, well, I did. It was reported that John Cena impressed so much that not only James Gunn wanted to make a HBO Max show about him, but the WB executives ordered a straight-to-series production, which is a big thing considering the movie wasn't even out yet, and they've actually finished filming the TV show. And, well, that's crazy. So at the end, in the post-credit scene, we see Waller's lackeys. We have John Economos, who is in the comics, who had pretty much the same role, supporting the squad, and seemingly being Waller's number 2 and a kaiju enthusiast. We also have Amelia Harcourt, who is an NSA agent, and in the comics, she was sent to Argus to monitor the Suicide Squad. Now, there hasn't been too much Argus, and, well, if you know everything about the CW verse, that has been featured heavily. They both feel they are being punished by Amanda Waller after she was shockingly knocked out when the squad and her team defied her orders to stand down and allow Starro to rampage, and she was knocked out, leading to the team to actually be able to help the people of Corto Maltese, which personally I didn't really like that, because I feel like it really neutered someone who you would believe would absolute put your balls in a vice if it meant a actual 1% increase in life for all of Americans. They have sent to be the handlers for Peacemaker as he survived, and John Cena's near perfect delivery of his character will continue. I don't think a wrestler has understood the assignment as well as this since Batista brought Drax to life. So what is next for the peace-loving bullet enthusiast? Well, James Gunn declined to talk about the timeline of the show until after the movie's release, and I'm sure we will actually hear a lot more in the coming weeks. And we do have DC Fandom as well, so I'd expect a trailer around that time. And his decline of talking about it makes sense, as when I thought that he was perceived dead, I thought, oh, I guess we're going to get a prequel and see how he got to Belle Reve. And, well, it's clearly a sequel. Now, comic book movie prequels are usually very underserved and limited. Look at Black Widow, and in a way, Ant-Man and the Wasp, they are kind of really tied to the scope. They can't branch out and really build upon the part of the universe they're in or affect the wider world, as we know what comes after it. We know that Adrian Chase will feature in the show, who is known as the Vigilante. He is a district attorney who is also the crime fighter vigilante who can recover quickly from his injuries. You may recognize him from Arrow in one of the best seasons of any show within the Arrowverse, which also featured Prometheus. In the comics, his wife was killed by mobsters along with his kid, leading to him to become a vigilante and use non-lethal weapons to take out his enemies and criminals. That's an interesting one, as Peacemaker in the comics did use non-lethal, and there was also non-lethal stuff mentioned as well in the movie. He and Peacemaker did actually cross paths when, of course, Adrian Chase retired from crime fighting and would then take up the mantle once more when his friends were killed by the Peacemaker as they took over the vigilante role. Now, Peacemaker in the comics would join the government working for an organization known as Checkmate, which I think will be the inspiration for this series, as in the comics, he was only recently, or at least Peacemaker only recently joined the Suicide Squad as of the Infinite Frontier comics, which I really need to check out all of them. I'm like probably about 6 or 7 months behind in my comics reading. Checkmate's precursor debuted in Vigilante 36, so considering how liberal James Gunn was with the source material already for the Suicide Squad, changing names and such, I expect that Peacemaker's activities will come into direct conflict with Adrian Chase, leading Chase to take up his mantle once more. I expect it to be violent as heck, but be a lot more grounded as opposed to a giant bloody starfish. However, that is it for this video. Please do check out our full breakdown of the movie, and if you enjoyed this video and my breakdown, I may make some other videos as well. But we've got a big week next week with Stargirl, What If, and Titan Season 3, as well as the continuing American Horror Stories, which I'm going to bring you daily. I don't know where I'm going to find the time, as I've absolutely running through every single Zelda game right now. But that's it. I'll see you soon, and goodbye.